Welcome to our lunch hour Mandarin. 欢迎大家来参加我们的午间中文。我是伸展。今天天气非常好，希望大家周末过得愉快。I know my co-host Yanjie now is busy admitting people coming in, and perhaps Li Yue and Andy, can you say hi to everyone? Li Yue.
Hi everybody, my name is Yuan. It's good to see everyone here. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy and happy to see you all.
Yeah. And Yanjie, 打个
Hi
招呼好吗？
everyone, glad to see you again.
And again, looking forward to having this 30-minute session with you to read a poem in Chinese and hope you enjoy learning and practicing Chinese as well. For those who just coming in, please, well, there's an instruction in the chat room. Essentially, please add a letter next to your name for self-identifying your language level. A for beginner, B for intermediate, and C for advanced level. It's not going to be perfect, but what we want to do a breakout room and group everyone accordingly so that we can practice together and separately too. Again, as a reminder, the session will be recorded and uploaded to China Institute's YouTube channel for future reference. Now let's get started. I will go to the shared screen again. Just give me a few seconds. All right. And this is China Institute. Well, it's been 8 weeks working from home for China Institute, and I really miss walking into this building. Just one more second. All right, so last week we read 春夜喜雨 from the 8th century Tang Dynasty. We learned that it's a highly regulated verse. 它是一首律诗, the most strict form of classical Chinese poetry. For today, we will jump more than 1,000 years ahead and read 断章. So you can repeat after me, 断章. It's a well-known, yeah. I can hear, if you could mute yourself, just because we have multiple participants and we then would not let the voice heard by others. Thank you. So it's a well-known modern Chinese poem, 现代诗, and the author is Bian Zhilin. Bian Zhilin. That's the name of the author. And here's a picture of young Bian Zhilin. He's, in fact, an important figure in China's modern literature, especially his poems. During the first 20 years of the 20th century, China went through a new cultural movement, also known as the Chinese Renaissance, 中国的文艺复兴, that essentially changed the landscape of Chinese literature, largely as a response of Chinese culture in many aspects. In fact, it's influencing philosophy, political thought, science, education, literature, every aspect of Chinese culture. And it was under the influence of the Western influence. So it is during this time, vernacular Chinese, we call that 白话. 白 is like the color 白, but here literally means plain. 话 as speech. 白话 literally means plain speech. That's referring to vernacular Chinese, means Chinese as we speak in real life. 白话 becomes the foundation of the modern Chinese language and entered literature, replacing the role of classical Chinese, and we usually call 文言, especially in poetry and literary forms. So poets like Bian Zhilin started to write poems in 白话 vernacular Chinese. And we learned last time there are many rules regulating the classical Chinese poetry. So in poems written in 白话, we call that 白话诗. Well, Bian Zhilin, as we will read very soon, we can talk a little bit about, well, the rules being broken, regulating the classical Chinese poetry, and keep in mind that that's been around for over 1,000 years. So let's start with the title, 断章. So there are not that many words in multiple vocabularies in multiple word characters. So only those words are underlined. I will pause as well the meaning of the line goes. And well, please again, repeat after me and we will read the poem together twice for each line. It's a very brief poem. 你站在桥上看风景，你站在桥上看风景，看风景的人。Sorry, I probably got missed a little bit. Okay, 在楼上看你，看风景的人，在楼上看你。明月装饰了你的窗子。So note that there are 3 neutral tones here, le, de, and zi. So when we read this line, it sort of like provide a natural pause. 明月装饰了你的窗子。你装饰了别人的梦。你装饰了别人的梦。That's it. That's the entire poem. Here is the English translation. Now we can read the poem one more time together. 你站在桥上看风景，看风景的人在楼上看你。明月装饰了你的窗子。你装饰了别人的梦。 Again, the title, 断章. 断章. Hope this short poem, Fragment, has some relevance to the fragmented life we're going through right now. Just let's take a look at this poem one more time. I want to point out the words and sentences that construct the poem are in fact all very simple. Every word is used in a way that would work in conversations today. Each line is a sentence that we may use in our daily life, or at least the structure of the sentence. So for example, the first line, 你站在桥上看风景. So I took out the sentence structure. There's 在, and then there is 上. And you put the location in between, and there is a structure that we often use all the time. For example, now, as we are studying Chinese online, we can say, 我们在网上学中文. This would be unimaginable in classical Chinese poetry. As what we probably remember, each character must be chosen in such a careful way. Each has compact meanings that would almost represent an independent picture. Here is our first 4 lines of 春夜喜雨. And perhaps we can read that together one more time. All right, start from the first line. 好雨知时节，当春乃发生。随风潜入夜，润物细无声。Just want to add the second 2 lines. 随风潜入夜，润物细无声 has been one of the most famous lines in Chinese 唐诗, the Tang poetry. And note that now it's translated into English on the side. The style of the translation is in fact closer to 白话. And as mentioned at the beginning, this change from classical Chinese to vernacular Chinese was all part of the Chinese Renaissance or New Culture Movement, 新文化运动, in early 20th century. And just as a side note, one of China Institute's founders, Hu Shi, in fact, is one of the most prominent figures of the New Culture Movement. And he was often referred to as the father of Chinese Renaissance. As one of the chief editors of the magazine, 新青年, New Youth. Oops, this is the one of the cover of the magazine. And at the time, in fact, you have to read from right to left instead of now we read in writing from left to right. So 新青年. And he was among the most enthusiastic advocates of using 白话 that becomes the foundation of modern Chinese we are studying today. He studied with John Dewey at Teachers College here in New York, was an ambassador to the United States, and was involved with starting China Institute back in the 1920s. So this is a young Hu Shi, and this is a photo of a slightly older Hu Shi in the middle when China Institute was in 1944. So that's the session for today. And now I will invite Yanjie to break everyone into 3 levels, and we can practice accordingly. Yeah, I see some students coming back to the main room. Yeah. Oh, they're all from group 1, right? From Li Yue. So anybody, has anybody had any questions while you can raise, or any suggestions as well? We are waiting for other students coming back to the main room. And we are concluding our session today, last few minutes. So this question from Karen, can we find the poem online? Yes, you can. So if you put in the title, 断章 or Fragment, and together with his name, Bian Zhilin, you're likely to find this poem. There are actually many sources. And we can also include a link to the follow-up emails. 好的. So does anyone want to read in the main room? I can see this group, everybody was trying to, was participating. So it was actually really nice. And if you have a favorite line that you want to read, you can read here. Let me share my screen again so that we have it in front of us. Yeah. Does anyone want to read?
I guess I could try.
All right.
你站在桥上看风景。
很好，很好. So just one little tip for 风景. There is a G sound, so it's really going back to the throat a little bit more. 风景.
So should I give it a try again?
Sure.
So 你站在桥上看风景。
非常好，非常好。
谢谢。
How the next line? Anybody want to try?
我可以。
好的，好的。Yeah, go ahead.
看风景的人在楼上看你。
非常好，非常好。Yeah, perfect. 好的，第3句有人愿意吗？试试第3句。Did I see somebody raise the hand? Yeah. And yeah, you can unmute yourself. That's from Melissa, Kenzie, Edison.
Okay.
明也总是离你的窗子。
非常好，非常好，谢谢。Well, thank you. And especially thanks for trying. So there is one also, it's very tricky in Chinese pinyin because, well, this is pinyin, right? It's the phonetic form of Chinese pronunciation. And it looks like English letters, but some of them are not pronounced exactly the same as English letters. So for example, this one, it looks like a yi in it, but it's pronounced le. Yeah, so it's 明月装饰了你的窗子。Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so next time when you see this, yeah, do you want to try one more time?
Again. Okay.
明月装饰了你的窗子。
非常好，非常好。Yeah. So 谢谢，非常好。So last line. Anyone? 有没有人愿意试试最后一句？
I guess if no one else wants to go, I could try it again.
Sure, go ahead.
你装饰了别人的梦。
很好，很好。Yeah. So just to pay attention, for example, this it's the same thing. It's not exactly the same as English letters. So 是
like with the
Yeah.
downwards. So
Right.
你装饰了别人的梦。
Exactly, very good. 非常好，非常好。
谢谢。
因为这个 sh 是 is
是
different from English like sheep. It's not the same pronunciation. It's 是
So like a little heavier on the sh.
correct. Yeah. 好的。So yeah, so that's for our session today. Let me stop sharing so I can see everyone. And I see more people came back from the other groups. I could imagine because I was with group 1, so there must be a lot of practicing happening in the breakout rooms. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be staying around for a few more minutes. So if you have any questions, well, feel free to stay. And otherwise, well, I hope to see you next week. 好，希望大家再见，谢谢，
谢谢你，
谢谢。
再见。
谢谢，再见，
再见，拜拜，非常感谢。
谢谢，再见，
Thank you very much for the session.
谢谢参加，
Thank you.
好的 ，so yeah, I know we are sort of maybe figuring out how to leave the room, but meanwhile, if anybody has any questions, well, feel free to raise.
我想问你，你们是每周一有这样的课吗？
是的，我们每个星期一现在是12点半到1点，每个星期一都有。It's a free session for everyone, and the format is the same.
好的，好，谢谢。
好，谢谢。好的 ，so if no further questions, then my colleagues and I will leave the session and hope to see you next week. 好，我们下周见，好吧？
拜拜，拜拜。
好，再见。